All right, so 1986's Top Gun is directed by Tom Scott, right? Tom Scott? Tony Scott, my bad. And written by Jim Cash and Jack Epps Jr., based on a magazine article of all things called Top Guns by, and I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, Ehud Yone. It stars Tom Cruise as Maverick, of course. We also have Val Kilmer as Iceman, with Anthony Edwards as Goose, my personal favorite character in this movie. We also have Kelly McGillis as Charlie, Tim Robbins as Merlin, which I'm surprised I didn't recognize him in there, seeing as how Shawshank Redemption's like my favorite movie of all time. But yeah, he's in there too. Tom Skerritt as Viper, and I'll stop there. But yeah, pretty great cast here. And whenever I think of Tom Skerritt and Tom Cruise, I can't help but think of the jokes from Ted. So if you've seen those movies, you know what I mean. But what can I say about this movie that hasn't already been said? I mean, it's a staple of the 80s. It's amongst one of the most popular movies in the 80s. And it's a movie I like for the most part. It's not my favorite. Like I said, Goose, favorite character in the movie. And spoiler alert, he dies in the movie. And it is tragic. Every time that happens in the movie, I can't help but shed a tear because Goose is just such a great character. And I don't know, I just like him more than Maverick because Maverick in the first film was just kind of an arrogant prick for the most part, you know. After Goose dies, he has that where he overcomes the obstacle of like having to deal with that, but by the end, like doing what he needs to do to further himself in his career and using the death of his best friend as a motivator for him to do what he needs to do. And that is the real hook for me in this movie. That's what brings me back to watching it each time I do, which I think I've only seen it like 3 or 4 times at this point. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty solid movie. At times, like, it's hard to follow the like dogfights and stuff like that, exactly what's going on, because it just, the way they cut it around, it just cuts from, you know, cockpit shot to like jet shot, and it's hard to follow who's in what jet and what's going on. But for the most part, like, it doesn't bother me too much. The final fight of this movie, I'm just kind of like there's so many better final battle scenes, and that one just doesn't quite do it for me. But overall, I mean, like, the characters in here are why I come back. Mainly Goose is why I come back each time. I mean, Tom Cruise as Maverick, he's an iconic character. Just the way he kind of like breaks the rules, bends the rules, and kind of does what he wants. He's kind of the bad boy, but you know, he has the character arc in there to kind of change his ways throughout the film. And, you know, people that he was feuding with before, like Iceman, you know, you got that iconic line, and I'm probably butchering the exact line, but you can be my wingman any day. Like, oh, hell yeah. But there are definitely a lot of homosexual undertones in this movie. After watching the recent retro review from Double Toasted, I went back and rewatched the movie, and I was like, yeah, I can definitely see what they mean. I mean, I always knew it was kind of there with the whole greased up shirtless volleyball scene, but, you know, just the subtle looks that certain characters give to each other, I'm just like, yeah, that's kind of gay. But like, I don't have anything against anybody who's gay, bi, trans, anything like that. But it's hard not to see it after somebody points that out, and it's like all I can see at that point. But I can also look past that and see, you know, overall it's mainly just the chemistry between Goose and Maverick in this movie that does it for me, and their bond, and just how tragic it is when he loses his wingman. Like, oh my god, just gets me every freaking time, dude. And you know, by the way, I'm recording this review after watching Top Gun Maverick. I did watch the original Top Gun before watching that. In preparation, I just didn't get a chance to record this until now. But you know, like, Goose is even kind of the hook of the new movie in a way, because you have Miles Teller as like the new, you know, his son, the new Goose, essentially. And I don't know, just like whenever there's callbacks, like you know, talk to me, Goose. Like, oh my god, that line, oh, fucking gets me. But I'm getting off topic here. I'm talking about the new one, and I need to talk about the old one. It's definitely not as good. If I'm comparing, it's definitely not as good as the new one. The new one's updated. It does a lot right for me, and it improves upon the original. But at the same time, we wouldn't have what we have there if we didn't have this original movie. So there's a lot I appreciate about this. Just the work that went into it, and the actors that are in there. Like, I I think we should all treasure Val Kilmer in this movie because, just seeing the way he is now, and if you don't know, I forget exactly what's going on with him. I think he might have some form of cancer, or, he has some disease going on. I watched a bit of a documentary that was about that, and it just makes me cherish those kinds of actors that either are sick and not doing so well, like Bruce Willis is right now. You know, it just kind of breaks my heart to know about these kinds of things, and to hear about them, and to look back on movies that either people who are passed on or people that are you know not doing too well, to see them in the movies looking lively. I mean, I don't know him personally, but it just warms my heart to see him like lively and stuff like that. And I'm making myself emotional, but it's good to see him like that, because it's just hard. I know how it is to like see somebody who's sick, and yeah, I'll stop talking about it there because I'm tearing up right now. But yeah, I mean, Iceman in this movie, he's pretty iconic too. And I can't lie, there are some like kind of sexual, not sexual, but like kind of flirty looks that he gives towards Tom Cruise at times in this movie. But there is a really good scene after Goose passes away where Iceman's like trying to talk to Maverick, and like, just apologizing and like saying sorry for his loss, and just saying like everybody loved him, and he didn't say too much, but and this is making me emotional too, because like Goose is my favorite freaking character, dude. And every time I watch it, I'm just like, I hate what they do, but like they have to, because it motivates Maverick in the end, and it makes the ending so much better. But it hurts so much, dude. Especially since he had a wife and a kid, and just knowing that the kid grows up to like struggle, man. I love Goose. Goose is seriously the best character. And if you can't tell by now, this review is kind of off the rails, but I kind of imagined it would be like this, because, there's only so much I can say about it. But like Top Gun in general, I guess I'll tell you what Top Gun is. It's a school for the best of the best when it comes to, pilots. And that's where Maverick and Goose get sent to in the beginning of this movie. And basically the goal of this movie is for them to get their name on a plaque. And by the time they get to the final fight of this movie, the fight actually comes to them. It's not just them like trying to be the best and trying to be number one. It's them actually trying to fight for something that matters. And I mean, it makes it impactful, but like I said, the final battle of that was just a little hard for me to follow. Just the dogfighting scenes in general were a little bit hard for me to follow in the original, but overall, I still love the movie. I don't know if I said this before, but like top 50 at least. I know that's not not great, but still. I mean, there's so many things I love about it, but obviously the thing I love most is Goose. So, yeah, I don't know if I have anything else to say about it really, other than like I love the love interest in this movie, Charlie. I think she's a great love interest in the film. I just love that she's actually like, she works for Top Gun. She's like an important person there. And they don't figure that out until like the night after Maverick was trying to hit on her at the bar and stuff like that. So many great scenes with Maverick and stuff, like, seeing all the pilots at the bar and just like partying and stuff like that and having fun. And the whole scene of, Goose playing the piano and singing the music, like freaking love it. Freaking love it. But, it makes it even harder to know what comes after that. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about the original Top Gun from 1986. I would love to know what you guys think of this movie. Have you seen it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Are you in the middle? I know a lot of people love this movie, and then there's some people who just don't care. But it's a staple of the 80s. So to say it wasn't influential for its time, or for now in general, I think that would be selling it a little bit short. But yeah, really great movie overall. Not my favorite. I definitely like the new one better. But still a pretty solid film. And Yeah, justice for Goose, that's for sure. But if you're listening on the podcast, is there anything else to review? I don't know. I don't think so. So this will probably be the last review of the episode. So thank you guys for listening. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, do all that stuff. I would very much appreciate it. And keep your eyes open for my review of Top Gun Maverick, which should be coming not too long after this video. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one.